Hello, everyone, and welcome to the writers class. Oh my goodness, I've done a second writers class in the same day. It feels weird.
Oh,
So,
in one day.
you have four podcasts. You get a little confused on which one you're talking about. That happens to me
I can
quite a bit.
imagine.
So today we're doing the writers class because we have someone from writing here who's actual like a literary agent. So you want to stay tuned. So I'm gonna make this quick because you don't want to hear from me. You really, really don't. I'm Winona. I'm one half of the And I Thought ladies, and we have 7 books out. Oh, this is the most professional beginning I've ever done. I'm not like that. You see my face? It's like, oh God, no. This is terrible. This is normally jokes and sound effects and talking about something silly that happened in my life. Okay. But we're not doing that today. So those 7 books are And I Thought Divorce Was Bad, And I Thought Being Grown Up Was Easy, If Only I Were Me, a Memoir in Verse, Foreign Coffee, Widow's Web, and Widow's Debt. Those are 7 books. 6 books. I'm missing one. But that's okay. You can find those wherever audiobooks are sold because those are the audiobooks. And you can find the other 12 now because this is book 19. You can find the other 12 books at www.andithoughladies.com. Yeah, that is so professional. Even my stomach's like, it's a bit much. But you're not here to hear about me and my stomach who doesn't like professionalism. You're here to hear about our wonderful guest. Wonderful guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Julia, and can I just say you're amazing, by the way? Okay, but okay, I'll go ahead and introduce myself. A few things you should know about me is that one, I'm in the publishing industry now, but I actually started as a writer trying to get published. So ask me anything about that, and I'm on your side. Two, in the industry, I'm a foreign rights agent and literary agent now, but I've worn a few hats like scouting and being a children's literary agency associate and assisting in a lot of different things, which is fun. And finally, I am a huge otaku. I love Japanese and I speak Japanese.
Oh goodness. She just corrected my good morning. I have been saying it wrong for apparently because like when I grew up with someone from Japan that was teaching me
Oh,
Japanese
yeah?
and I was like, why would I learn? And so I was like, oh, I thought that's how you said it. So I've been saying it that way since I was 7 years old.
Well, you got the Ohio correct, and that's all you need, honestly.
Okay, great. So she's really
Ohio.
good at Japanese. Apparently, at least saying hello. But we're not here to talk about that again. I see, look at me. Narcissism takes over, and I'm like, let's talk about me and my life.
Well, your life sounds fascinating, so I don't blame you, honestly.
No, it isn't. It really, really isn't. Wait until you see what I actually have to do after this. You'll be like,
Oh,
no, that's
yeah.
oh. So wait, how do you go from being an author to getting a publishing gig? Like, was there schooling involved, or did you just kind of walk in the publisher and like, yo, I'm willing to learn, I'll intern for free?
I
No, that
mean,
was not one of the
that
questions
is
I was supposed to ask
basically,
you.
please, I don't mind. I'm an ENTP. Just I go with anything. But yeah, so no special schooling involved. Some people get their masters, but I started out in a completely different path. And then I was fortunate enough to be able to do a remote internship with 2C's agency. They're a foreign rights agency. So I actually started out with them. And yeah, it was totally free, but the experience I gained is priceless. So,
So you
oh
started
yeah,
out in foreign rights. I'm really okay. At this point, y'all, I had discussed like I was going to ask her 6 specific questions. I'm throwing them all out of the window
good.
in the conversation because she's real cool. Like she's so chill. I'm not sticking to her.
Thanks. Yeah.
So, foreign rights. Most people go, okay, I wanted publishing and then I became a literary agent. What, first of all, what is for foreign rights? And then secondly, how do we get them?
Yeah, I managed to get in the very obscure jobs where even other publishing industry people would be like, book scouting? What's involved? Foreign rights is a little more well known. It's essentially we represent authors in a certain language. Well, language. Right now, I'm working for a Finnish literary agency, but so we have books in Finnish, authors who write in Finnish and sometimes Swedish, and we go to publishers in different countries and say, okay, here's why you should buy the legal right to translate this book from Finnish into your language and sell them in your country. So I'd be going to, since I represent, say, Italy, I'd say, here's why you should purchase the rights to translate this into Italian and then through your company sell it to bookstores in Italy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what foreign rights are. And for those,
Essentially.
yeah, now, is it possible for an author to negotiate their own foreign rights?
Actually, I was just talking about this with someone. So if you have an agent and a publisher, that will be different. If you're, are you talking about being self-published,
Oh,
for
you can cover
example?
both. Both sounds lovely.
So so usually an agency has their own, they either go to a co-agent or they have their own agent to sell rights. So if you're represented, it'll be taken care of for you essentially. If you're self-published, you can. It's going to be really hard because what these publishers want to see is they want to see media reviews, they want to see maybe an award, they want to see that it's sold into another territory. So essentially, they want to make sure that it's going to sell well. So it's hard, but I think if you really put yourself out there, it's doable.
So you said literary scouting, and I just want to say it is a dream of mine to interview someone who did literary scouting.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Here I am.
Right? I just found a list of like 40 some literary scouting companies, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go down and ask everyone. And then you showed up, and I was like,
Okay.
oh, I don't need this list anymore. I'm still gonna go down and ask everyone.
Yeah, there are people who've been in there for years who can answer your questions better for sure.
Okay, so now we're just gonna go with what is literary scouting. I feel like this is the most educational video we've done so far.
Really? Oh, great. Um, so literary scouting is okay. So where I worked, it was at JMH Scouting. We had several mid-sized publishing houses as clients. So we basically advised them what to buy rights for. So I was in charge of fantasy, so I would read books like 2 years before they came out, which was awesome. And then I'd say, okay, here are my thoughts. Here's why you should or should not perhaps purchase rights. Does it have international appeal? Will it sell in your country specifically? Does it work with your list? And how are the sales figures, et cetera, et cetera. And it's basically literary consultants, sort of.
That's what I read. They're like, no, we're like consult with the publishing house is like, no, this will work. No, because it did it right here. And then it's a similar call. So it'll do it here too. I was like, Okay, of course, the literary scout that I want to talk to is a literary scout for Hollywood. But this is so
Oh,
cool too.
okay. Okay. So they pitch to they see what would be good in film version. Oh, okay. Wait, could I? Well, I guess I can't ask who it is. I talked to someone recently. They'd be like,
Oh
"Oh,
no,
she
you can
used
say
to
whatever
work
you
for us."
like. Ask away.
No, just I was wondering who you were
Oh.
thinking of, or
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
that's good.
Again, I have a list. It's a very
The
long
lit
list.
a whole or I actually because I haven't come across many scouts like that. I worked with one when I was at Andrea Brown for a while, and I remember putting together a catalog of our titles to give to one of those scouts, which
Oh,
was
that
cool.
is
But
so
otherwise,
cool.
yeah, otherwise it would be really cool to work for. one of those scouting agencies, I think.
I would love. Okay, out of all the literary jobs, that's the one I want.
Really? Would you go for it? I mean,
Mostly because
it'd be
I
weird.
want to fly to LA because
Eh,
I love the weather, minus right now.
yeah, I was
Now
gonna say,
it's a little hot for my
yeah,
liking.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And I know I have a lot of friends out there, and I'm just constantly like, "Are you okay? What are the
yeah.
updates?" Like,
It was,
yeah,
oh my God, it was so insane to watch. So now I'm dating the podcast in case, like it's supposed to be like an evergreen
right.
podcast. And
Like,
so now
oh,
it's like during the fires. Well, I think they're
one
mostly
of
dying.
the fires.
There's just like one left, right? Exactly. It's so nice to see just one. When I got up this morning, they were like, "There's one." I was like, and I was like, normally when they say there's one, you're like, "Oh my God, everybody!" And you're like, "One." You're like, "Yes,
Yeah,
look, you're safe now. Go outside, minus the air."
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, what is the
Climate
busiest
change.
portion of your year? And do you get to go do anything cool?
Um, yes. So the busiest portions. I work remote, so I didn't do the cool thing, but the book fairs. So the two biggest book fairs are Frankfurt and London. And actually, yeah, me and my colleagues are scheduling for London. It's a little early, but we're starting.
Is it
So,
already?
uh,
Okay,
maybe,
hold on.
okay,
I'm pausing
not this
1 second.
year,
I'm
not
gonna
this
pause
year.
one second. I'm pausing it.
It was, other years it would be early, but this year, actually, I think it's a good time.
One. All right. So, do you get to travel to London and Frankfurt, or do you have to stay behind the computer?
It depends. This year I'm staying behind the computer, unfortunately, but I can run through how everything works and how we prepare and everything. So let me know if there's anything you're curious about.
I'm sorry. Like you just told an author that like the biggest book fair in the world. You're like, no, peek behind the curtain. Yes, please. Yes, please. I'd like a backstage pass. And I'm not even gonna ask a question. I'm leaving it open. Just tell us what you think we need to know. Actually, what are the
Okay.
two things we should know about getting ready for the Frankfurt or London book fair?
Okay, so first, from my experience, we tended to start scheduling in July because people fill up and it is absolute chaos and everyone spells their own name wrong in the emails. It's great. So July or August would probably be the best time to start. And then, then it's about seeing what the particular person you're meeting likes, what they're looking for their list too, so both personal and where they work. And then it's about narrowing it down to about 3 or 4 titles to pitch because people tend to get overwhelmed. I went to Estonia to do a big pitch session for editors, which was awesome. And I noticed we ended up getting to 6 or 7 titles in one go, which is apparently unusual. So I would say have some extras on board, but 3 or 4 might be the best number to go with.
Thank you. Okay. Let me back it up because I know what
Okay.
the book fairs are. But my listeners probably don't know what the book fair
Oh,
are. So they're not the book fair where you show up and you're like, buy my book reader. They are not that. Do not show up at those fairs being like, buy my book reader. I've seen authors who did that, and well, that was interesting. Could you tell us what
yeah.
they are? Because they are not those book fairs.
Yeah, it would be hard to do that. It's essentially a huge crowd of publishing industry people, editors, agents, and writers, anyone, book scouts, of course, anyone in the industry taking back-to-back meetings, um, no eating, no sleeping. No, just kidding. Um,
Oh no,
but
she's not really lying. No, they look like they didn't eat and or sleep. But
basically,
then
but
day
it's worth
4
it.
at Frankfurt, you're like, do you want to rest on a my pillow? I have a pillow. You like a nap?
Seriously though, and a lot of editors. I remember they only would go for 2 days, or arrive in the afternoon, so that's a good thing to know. But yeah, lots of pitching, and then they have these beautiful displays where they have all their books set up. and you get to hear about them, and you get to meet and greet, and it is super fun. Possibly overstimulating, but super fun.
I think my
Yeah.
favorite, so I have been to the London and Frankfurt Book Fair, and so as the narcissist, I'm going to insert my thoughts. Author, if you're going, stay late because the Irish party is the best.
Oh.
And the second best is the Australian party. And then there's a bunch of pet parties you may or may not be able to get into, but whatever. Those two are awesome. Ireland brings out Guinness and whiskey. And
Oh, I'm not surprised. They know how to party.
yes. And then they bring live music. It's so
Oh,
enjoyable.
yes.
I'm
I
sorry, you're
No,
working.
that sounds awesome. My late night was going to a dinner with a bunch of editors and then my old supervisor, and
I did that too. And
yeah,
then I made it back
awesome.
for Ireland.
Oh my god.
I was like, no, we got to cut this short. Ireland has whiskey. I'll see you soon.
I wish I knew more Irish people. I know a lot of UK, like, yeah, UK, English, Scottish, some Scottish, but I need to know more Irish people. Seriously.
Yeah. Best drinking buddies I've ever had are like the Scottish ones of
Of
number one,
course.
and then Ireland after that, and then Australians are wow. Like all my drinking buddies from Australia are really cool.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Need to know
But then,
more Australians too.
yeah, I want to know more Australians, but it's for a completely different reason. It has nothing to do with literature. So this is the writing class. We will stay on time. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
So normally I would just like wrap it up right about now, but I feel like if you're your first time going to a fair, you actually need these three things, and that's survival tips.
Mm,
Because it's a lot. And they're really
it is a lot.
yeah. Are there any survival tips like TikTok,
Yeah, like, am I
like an extra
supposed
pair of
to
shoes?
say? Uh, meat, yeah, meat for lunch when possible. And don't do the sandwich at the table thing. Just be like, let's get lunch. Um, survival tips. Yeah, don't meet past 9, or don't meet before 9:30. I think you'll regret it. Meditate beforehand. Find that inner peace.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
That's
did have
all I
one more
got.
question. I do have one more
Oh yes,
question.
yes, yes.
And this is actually for my audience because I was looking for survival tips. I'm not gonna lie. Because it's like 8 weeks from now and like yeah, so I need survival tips.
Oh yeah,
Um
you're right.
hmm hmm So this one is for my actual audience, which is about as a self-published author, I run across a lot of people who like they'll have like one book and they're like, I'm gonna go. And then you're like, do you have anything else
Mm,
coming? And so how do we kind of represent ourselves in a light that we can be taken seriously? Because I found that having one book and showing up for a meeting does not work that as well. I could be wrong.
yeah,
They might just not like me. That might be the problem.
I'm sure that's not it. To be honest, I don't know about self-published authors when it comes to the book fairs, because I've just never I've never had an opportunity. Either the self-published authors come directly for representation and we represent them. Uh, but
I like that answer.
yeah.
You can go to her for representation for that.
Not me, not me. Not how it works, because so in Finland, fun fact, it works differently than America. And also we kind of represent, so basically they're already published, and or they're self-published and they have something exceptional, and then like as a group we represent and do foreign rights. But yeah, I can help for self-published writers, but not in the context of the fairs, unfortunately. I just have had zero experience with that.
That answer though. So apparently we can go for representation, not by her, but we can try to find someone that can represent us the American way. You said
Right. It's
difference in the
hard though.
American way. So what is the American way?
Well, the American way is more like, well, for self-published it's different. um I was thinking more like Americans, they can't really go to a publisher. They have to go to a literary agent first. And in Finland, it's backwards. But if you're self-published and you want to get an agent, it's quite hard. They want to see that you've made a lot of sales. So it's happened, but you have to show them the numbers essentially. Yeah.
Right.
I wish I had better news. I wish it were easier. But
No, this is amazing. Like, it is so, again, we asked for a behind the scenes look, and now we have a behind the scenes look. I mean, we all know what a literary agent does, but we don't know what a foreign rights agent does, or a literary scout, which I just absolutely love.
that's
Dream
true.
come true. Pop and sign
Glad
language
I'm here.
successful.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for being here with us. Is there there's no way that you would want to like give out information for people to find you online and bother you with questions? You're not in the interest of a question battery?
Yeah, I don't mind as long as it's not pummeling me with questions. I do have a Twitter account that I semi use. It is Julia Ray. Wait. Julia Ray 26. I'm pretty sure. Well, if you find me, I'll get your message probably if
I love
they
that.
if they decide to email me. So if I'm okay, Julia Ray 26, because 26 is I was born February 26th.
Oh,
Okay, but
so I was going to be like, dude,
Pisces.
y'all were going to have to put some initiative in and actually find her. Like those who did the work would get the answers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, and so if I don't see it or something, though, I'm not ignoring you. I don't ignore you unless you're maybe creepy and making me feel uncomfortable. But yeah, feel free.
Thank you so much for coming on today. I really, really appreciate that. I'm going to wrap it up for us over here. And I keep saying us, and there was no Jade to this side.
Us, us, you and me.
So for us, yeah, the two of us. I'm going to wrap it up for the two of us. There we go. Again, I'm Wilnona and I'm half of the And I Thought Ladies, and you can find out everything that your ladies are doing at www.andithoughladies.com. And while you're there, go down to the bottom of the page and you can see the charities that we proudly support. We ask that you give a moment to think about supporting them as well. It does not have to be monetary. You can give some advice, which we found out was very useful. They needed knowledge. Or you can get your hands dirty and get involved. Either way, we thank you in advance for doing that. Remember that wisdom is always around you if you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Wilnona and the Missing Jade. Oh, yeah. Thanks for listening.